Hi, welcome to Polyphonic Press. I'm Jeremy Boyd, and today I'm going to be reviewing the new album by Foster the People entitled Supermodel. Here we go. Foster the People are an American rock band formed in Los Angeles in 2009. In 2010, they released the single Pumped Up Kicks, which went on to become their breakthrough song. It later appeared on their debut album Torches, which was released in May of 2011. The album was both a critical and commercial success, and after an extensive tour and a much-needed time off, they returned to the studio with their sophomore album, and it's called Supermodel. And this album starts off with the song Are You What You Want to Be, and it kind of slowly fades in with these weird noises going on, and eventually kind of launches into this sort of rock, almost disco sort of feel. The song almost has an African feel with this percussion and these different sort of rhythms that are happening throughout the whole thing. I was always sort of on the fence when it came to Foster the People. I wasn't really sure if I liked them or not. The songs that they played on the radio were okay, but they didn't really get me overly excited or anything like that. But this song kind of opened up the album, really got me intrigued and very curious to see what would happen next. I don't know if this is because it's their second album and they've grown as songwriters, but I couldn't help but think that this album could very well be their next single. The first single from the album is the song Coming of Age, and it kind of starts off with this drum pattern that's very laid back but urgent at the same time. To me, this song sounds like it came straight out of the 80s. It kind of sounds like something that Simple Minds or In Excess would do. Just the different sounds and the synths and the sound of the drums really kind of has that mid-80s sort of feel. I can definitely see why they chose this song as the single. It definitely fits in with the radio. Having said that, it really didn't capture my interest as much as the opening track. I kind of got a little bored with it after a while. For whatever reason, I just didn't connect with this song. It kind of feels like it's trying to get somewhere and doesn't really quite get there. The one thing I did like about this song is towards the end, it kind of breaks down and then all you hear is this piano and then it builds back up into the climax. I really thought that part was cleverly done. The song Best Friend is a pretty strong track. I thought it was one of the strongest on the album. It's a bit of a trip when you first hear it because it kind of sounds like this upbeat sort of almost disco dance vibe, and it's got a really strong bass groove that I really like about the song. It sounds like something you could put on at a party, and you probably could. But when you actually listen to the lyrics, you realize that it's a pretty dark song. It's about someone sort of falling into drug addiction. Having dark lyrics with sort of uplifting music isn't really much of a new thing. I know the Police have done it with Every Breath You Take, but I don't think that the music and the lyrics have quite been this polarizing before. I thought it was interesting, but it was odd to say the least. The song A Beginner's Guide to Destroying the Moon is probably the most rock-based song on the album. It's got heavy guitars and also a bit of a psychedelic influence with the sort of disjointed, weird sound in the intro. I think this song kind of falls flat a little bit because of all the different noises that are going on throughout it. It feels like they're just kind of trying to force something that isn't quite there. I think the song itself is well written, and it would have been much more interesting if they just recorded it straight and sort of left all the sort of weird noises off of it. All the different changes that it goes through kind of takes away from it, and it would have stood up pretty well on its own. And the album ends with the song Fire Escape. And it's probably my favorite song on the album. To me, this is the type of song that should have made up the whole album. A lot of these songs are washed in heavy production when they really don't need it. The song definitely has some sounds that are thrown in there, but it's done in a much more subtle way. I think if all the songs on this album had similar production style to this one, the message of the lyrics would have been a lot more clear and a lot easier to understand. The production on this album is pretty big, and I think that's sort of the downfall of this album. I think the songs themselves are really well written, but I think the sort of 80s production style and all these weird noises really kind of distract from the message and the lyrics that are really the most important thing. If the lyrics weren't as important as they are, I would definitely say that the production works, but since these songs are pretty focused and sort of have a strong message behind them, I would say that they're kind of hiding behind this big production style with the huge drums, a lot of reverb, and a lot of synths and different noises. I like the message of this album, that it's sort of a criticism on our culture, but again, it kind of gets lost in the shuffle. This is an okay album, but there were more than a few weak spots that you really can't ignore, so I'm going to give this album a 5 out of 10. So anyway, that's what I thought about the album. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you'd like to suggest an album for me to review, please leave that in the comments as well. Be sure to subscribe so you know when I post a new video, and you can check us out on Twitter and Facebook. That's about it. Take it easy.